This dish is the cure for cancer, the bringer of world peace, the essence of happiness and joy for every human on the planet. What's up, my friends? Today we're making chicken noodle. Let's get into it. Step one is we need to do more meal pois. Onions, carrots, celery, maybe not in that order, but definitely all of them. Just like in my spaghetti and meat nuggets video, I'm going for 1 cup of each this time. However, if I had a bigger pot, I would probably do 2 batches. For those of you who are new to cooking, this is one of the holy trinities in veggie combos that's used in many dishes, ranging from, well, chicken noodle to spaghetti to even other soup stocks. Anyway, moving on to what you're all here to see, and that's a lot of drumsticks going into the oven that you saw being preheated at the beginning of this video. This is actually how I do it. I like to set the oven up first and then do the vegetable prep. It saves time in the long run. Anyway, 20 minutes after the chicken has been inserted into the oven, we want to start warming up the meal pois. As you can see, I dumped them into a larger pot this time compared to the spaghetti and meat nuggets pot, starting with the onions, followed by the celery, and of course the carrots. Keen observers and people who know me will realize that I forgot one important ingredient here, and that is olive oil, the one true cooking oil. But that's okay. This turns out amazing anyway. And in no small part thanks to all this other stuff that I'm putting in here. Starting off with minced garlic, some black pepper, a generous amount of oregano, basil, and parsley. And of course, last but not least, don't forget to stir it around. Not only because you want to distribute all the spices, it's also really satisfying. And now we finally get to the part as to why we put the chicken in first in the preheated oven and then did our prep work. Chicken should be done right as you're done adding all the stuff to the pot, and now it's time to add the chicken in as well. Once all the chicken is in the pot, just add a little bit of water, maybe half a liter. This gets the broth going, and we can move on to the next step. I hope you didn't forget that I saved drippings, and here it is. I like to pour a whole bunch of hot water onto the tray and scrub all the fat and skin that's still on there. Also, we can dump it into the pot later on. No, we're not done. We do this twice for good measure. At this point, there's not enough liquid for my preference, so I want the total amount of water to be around 2 liters or half a gallon. This makes it so that there's some actual soup left after everything else has taken its share of the broth. And of course, don't forget to add salt to your preference. While you watch me stir everything around, do take a moment to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you watching this far. Oh right, one more thing. Let's throw some mushrooms in there. I know you just read that it's 1 hour later, and it was when I shot this video, but it tastes better if you do this after 2 hours. Anyway, this step now is for deboning the chicken, and this is exactly why I chose drumsticks for this, because you can just sort of wiggle the bone off of the flesh, or out of it rather. Another reason to let it simmer for 2 hours instead of 1 is the longer you have it simmering, the more readily the bone will come out. And get your minds out of the gutter. Alright, once all the chicken has been deboned, it's time to give it a stir. And then we move on to dumping a whole lot of pasta into the pot. Wouldn't be chicken noodle otherwise. Remember when I said everything's gonna soak up the broth and why we need a little bit extra liquid? Yeah, pasta will do that. On the other hand, it's also gonna soak up a lot of flavor as opposed to boiling it in water and adding it later. Alright my friends, just as in the first part, the longer you let it simmer, the better. You can add some liquid to it, use some water, or even some chicken stock, but this stuff is ready to eat. Here we are, moment of truth. Well, not really, I know how this tastes, and it's time for me to enjoy this gloriousness. Wow, all the flavor? Time to try this. Oh my God. So, it's getting colder outside, and this is the perfect antidote to, Waited 2 hours for this to get done. The hardest part in making this dish is indeed waiting for it to be done after everything is in the pot. If you want the full glutton experience, you're gonna want to dump the pasta in, leave all the fat, let it soak into everything. Chicken noodle is a religious experience, okay? Doesn't matter how down you're feeling, how full you are, it doesn't matter how much stress you have in life. You make yourself some chicken noodle and you're gonna feel better no matter what. With that said though, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Smash like, and until next time, I'm gonna keep on eating.